Hey guys, so how's everybody doing today? I am in downtown Oklahoma City and trying to get myself ready for tomorrow because it looks like a few curveballs being thrown my way, but we'll get through it. Um, Really interesting city. So I was thinking to myself, if you've ever been to New York City and then been down by Wall Street on a weekend, there's like nothing going on. It's the quietest place in the world. And it almost reminds me of Oklahoma City right now, but this is a regular work day down here. It is the cleanest, quietest city I've ever seen. And then something I just noticed about it is, like, maybe I'm exaggerating, but a good many places, like I just had to run to the post office to try to send some stuff back home, and I'm looking around for it on the street level. Everything is down below ground, and they have all these shops and restaurants, and everything is down below ground here. And so if you look on Google and it says you go into the post office or the FedEx Center or this restaurant, it's all down below ground. They all, like the restaurants, I just saw a sign for a Mexican restaurant open from 11 to 2. Man, if you can make a living and only be open from 11 to 2, that's a pretty good gig, you know. But today, for the most part, relatively uneventful. I had to take care of some business stuff in the morning, get to the pharmacist. There's a struggle with that a little bit, not on their end, just on just the way things go. I did make it over to the OKC Memorial, which was really a somber moment. I like the way I really, from a aesthetic point of view, I really enjoy the way I shouldn't say enjoy. I admire the way they did the memorial. The reflecting pool, the chairs, the big chairs, the little chairs, was really pretty special. I went over to the museum and it looked pretty fantastic, but it was a fee to go in. It wasn't free, and I'm a little tight on money, so I didn't partake in that. Although when I come back with my kids, I will do so. After that, I got back. Thank you to John. I got my new shoes today, so I'll be getting them all righted. Thank you to Jamie for getting them out to me. Met some great folks back at the hotel. A lot of Boise State fans are in town. Boise State plays Oklahoma State tomorrow afternoon, so you'll be hearing a lot of people whooping that up tonight and tomorrow, I presume. Where are we at? So there is one thing I want to talk about today. Again, this is more of me, not so much sharing journey stories, but just, op-edding, I guess. I just got my hair cut. Don't know if you can tell, the wind's blowing it a little bit, but I needed a haircut for the next portion of my journey. What I did, it was a woman that was cutting my hair, and just don't know how these things come up, but I guess she asked me what I was doing, and I told her, about pointing the thumb and stop blaming people, and she kind of went off about some things. But one thing I thought struck me, that I try to be productive with what I do with these videos, and maybe teach a lesson when I can. But she was sharing a story with me, and kind of how it comes to the Me Too movement that's going on right now. There were two things she talked about. One was her and her sisters had been molested in their life, but it was a family member, and she got a call recently to see her sisters were going to go confront this person who was now in their mid-80s. And maybe they need to do that for peace of mind and for their own closure. But her point, and the point that I'm trying to make with this part of the video, was, why wait so long? I think there's a stigma involved with it. People are scared. They're manipulated, young people that get molested. But teach your kids to communicate. Teach your kids that it's okay to communicate when these things happen. She was sharing how they were all kind of brainwashed and threatened to some degree if they told. But at that point in time, 20, 30 years later, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is cathartic for people to come out even that far after the fact. But I don't know, I'd rather see people strike quicker. We got people now talking about things that happened 20 years ago, and no one should have to live with anything for 20 years if it was unwelcomed. But it kind of loses some of its power when, people are accusing people after the fact. And then she went on to talk about a situation that I thought I read about recently, but essentially it was I don't know if it was a stepdaughter or somebody accused somebody of molesting them, and he denied it and was being sent to prison for it. And I don't know if I just saw it on an ID channel, if I saw it on the news, or where I saw it, but essentially part of her story was that he went out and shot her dog in front of her to keep her from talking, and that was all part of her story. And then it turns out, while he was in prison, he reached out to a group that will help at no cost folks that they believe to be innocent. And they went and found this dog, and the dog was the key to proving her story. Or as the case went by, I think the prosecutor said it doesn't mean he didn't do it, but it definitely doesn't give her the credibility she once had. So, that was kind of her thing too. And there's some truth in this too. That you can say anything about anybody these days, and public perception convicts you on the spot. And then, if you are deemed to be innocent and you really didn't do something, the retraction, if it comes at all, is always a lot smaller in print and a lot less verbose in language and stuff like that. And I support some of that as well. We're so quick to run and believe in accusation. And you look, if there's accusations that are legit, they certainly should be acted upon. But anyway, so that was just an interesting conversation that I had with a complete stranger just 20 minutes ago here in OKC. But I thought it was interesting that it was a woman sharing that point of view and not a man. So I think that led some more credibility to the. If I came on saying this stuff, yeah, Jim, you don't know, whatever. But when a woman says it, I think it lends credibility to the fact that, hey, if you get abused, and she was the one that brought up the fact that, communicating is the key. So, to the little ones out there, let them know to communicate, talk, and let folks know where they're at with that. So, enough about my sermon and preaching. It's really a beautiful day here in Oklahoma. Like I said, I'm kind of excited because I'm nearing the end of my, what I'll say, balls to the wall. Forgive me if I offend somebody, but starting on Monday, it's just going to be that's my goal, guys, is sunrise to sunset, just walking and getting 35 miles a day in. And if I could do that, I could be done before Halloween and try to find a way back home. That's the game plan. Sunday, I'm meeting a few folks that are flying in, and they want to talk to me about a possible documentary or something like that. I'll get more details to you on that regard. Also, I know Scott has designed that share Facebook page where we can all kind of go on and comment and things like that. So please see about joining up with that and being part of the platform. And it's not about me at all. It's about the stories I'm sharing. The folks back at the hotel have been amazing, just really embracing, pointing a thumb. I ran into a couple of gentlemen on the street today, construction guys. Said, man, what does it tell me? We saw you walk by before. We wanted to ask you, what is it you're doing? When I told them, they were like, amen, God bless you, man, with the pointing the thumb. Everybody wants to blame somebody. I love that, and it was just a really nice, uplifting conversation. Just people get it. People see themselves doing it. They see others doing it. And that's the kind of thing I'll even challenge you guys to do. We've all of us are guilty. Our first reaction, I think, is to kind of point the finger somewhere else, and somebody, whatever their actions, their words, their non-actions prompted me to do what I did. Well, before we think of it that way, point the thumb at ourselves and ask, what did we do, or what didn't we do to contribute? So tonight's going to be a really quiet night. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in a big city. I'm down by a lot of restaurants and clubs. The problem is, big city restaurants and clubs cost a lot of money that I don't have. So it's going to be a quiet night. I'm going to get some dinner, hopefully something simple, a sandwich, hang out, watch some movies, rest my legs and feet, knowing that in just 48 hours from now, 48 hours? That's not true, that's a lie. About 60 hours from now, it's going to be a whole new journey for me physically. So the new shoes are appreciated, got some new clothes are appreciated. Thank you all for making that happen. I love you. Thanks for following, guys. Can't wait to talk to my kids tonight, and stay tuned. Appreciate everything. Take care, gang. Bye-bye now.